West Coast meets West Texas as California Baptist comes to the big country to take on the Abilene Christian University Wildcats from Moody Coliseum. Welcome to WAC Basketball on ESPN+. Hi everyone, Grant Boone alongside Coach Ron Holmes. What did Yogi Berra say? It gets late early around here. It's just the third Saturday, Coach, of the WAC season, and yet here's Abilene Christian at 0-3. How much urgency do they have today at home?
They're running out of home games. A lot of urgency for both for both schools because we're both hovering around 500.
Well, you've got California Baptist coming to town with Dominic Daniels. They're 1-2 in conference play. Abilene Christian is 0-3, all three games on the road for the Wildcats. Take a look at the WAC standings. Utah Valley, a perfect 5-0 after a victory at home over Utah Tech today. There you see Abilene Christian at 0-3 and California Baptist at 1-2. Road wins are so hard to come by in the WAC. There have only been 2 recorded in 3 weeks of WAC play. Let's take a look at a couple of the impact players today, beginning with Dominic Daniels, the superstar point guard for the Lancers, and Leo Bettiol, coach for ACU.
Let's talk a little bit about Dominic. Dominic will come off the screens and he probes. He doesn't really take you off the dribble until he finds an opening, and he is prolific at scoring. He's averaging 21 points a game. He shoots a lot, but he does a lot of probing. Leo Bettiol is standardized, back to the basket. He's an anchor for the Wildcats.
And he's really struggled with a foot injury of late. No field goals in 2 of his last 3 games. Let's send it now to the third member of our broadcast team, Jaden West.
Thanks, guys. It's been a tough stretch for the Wildcats so far. In the last 12 games, they've spent 9 of them on the road. Travel has not been easy for Coach Tanner's squad as they've had multiple flights in each of the last few weeks. In fact, it's true this week as they traveled out to Arizona for their contest against GCU just this last Thursday night before having to turn around and come back here to be on campus for tonight's home game. In fact, Cbu actually arrived in Abilene before the home team Wildcats. Home teams are 13-2 in WAC play so far this season, and just 2 days ago, Cbu struggled against a stifling Tarleton State defense. The Wildcats are averaging over 16 forced turnovers a game, which is good for 11th in the nation. So this could be the perfect game to get them back on track. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Jaden, thank you. And here we go from Moody Coliseum, a place that neither team is very familiar with. California Baptist has only played here 1 time before, twice in Abilene. Look out. And Abilene Christian has only played here 3 times since November the 16th. Bettiol takes a tumble on the tip. There's the starting 5 for the Lancers. A.J. Braun, newcomer from Wright State, handling the ball against Bettiol. Playing catch with Daniels. This should be a good matchup.
Daniel's trying to get free. He's in the corner. That's a little unusual for California Baptist to not have him take the first shot. He usually rattles off the first 6 or 7 shots.
There are the starters for Abilene Christian. Number 20, Hunter Jack Madden, normally wears 21. When you've been in the kind of slump he's been in, you try anything. So he's going 1 less with the numerals. Here's Braden Hubbard. He's been hot of late. That one a little strong.
Let's watch him probe. He has elite quickness.
Martell Williams gets California Baptist on the board. Transfer from Utah State Eastern. He was a JUCO All-America. One of the newcomers for Rick Croy.
Neither team has shot the ball very well this year, Grant. And I'm surprised they haven't taken an early shot. We've got to change it up a little bit.
Madden really struggling with tendinitis, and Bettiol battling a foot injury himself. Oh, he finds Smith, but it's through the wickets. Running out of time, Williams to beat the shot clock. Oh, how about just like Brett Tanner drew it up.
Well, that's fine, and that's the way to milk the clock if you're Brett Tanner.
Each Williams with a 3. Martell for California Baptist and Keon for Abilene Christian. And Bettiol gets a steal. And you heard Jaden say Abilene Christian, one of the best in the nation in taking the ball away. Their problem has been hanging on to it this year, uncharacteristically turning it over a lot.
And there's the Hunter Jack coming off the screen where he starts off in the opposite corner. just not able to shake anyone.
That's more of Keon Williams' game than the outside. So he scored from 23 feet and from right at the rim, and it's 5-3 Abilene Christian.
He did a little bit of that at Oklahoma State.
Daniels just electric, coming back after missing the second half of the conference season with a meniscus injury last year. He was headed perhaps towards Player of the Year honors. Musa with a nice move inside. Tarleton State transfer, so he knows the Wildcats. We're knotted at 5. You said it. Big game for both teams. It's early in conference play. But Abilene Christian looking for their first win of the conference season. And Rich Smith from the Bronx couldn't quite get that one to drop, but he'll go to the free throw line to shoot twice.
I am particularly watching with a great deal of excitement watching Smith and Daniels get after one another. I don't know. Daniels faced a lot of really good people, but someone that's 6'4",
yeah,
they can slide with him.
Brett Tanner, 4th season, as you see, after 8 seasons as the associate head coach to Joe Golding. They turned this program around from one of the worst in Division II to a 2-time NCAA tournament team, including a win over Texas in Indianapolis in the first round back in 2021. ACU has a pair of 6'4" point guards. They've been looking for a little more consistency out of each of them. And Rich Smith gets 1 of 2 at the line to push the Wildcats in front by 1 early. So Daniels will go off the ball here. And Yanni Rivera from Puerto Rico gets the unwieldy challenge of guarding him. And we've got a whistle and a foul against Abilene Christian as CBU pounded the boards. Rick Croy, he took CBU from the Division II ranks into Division I, youngest head coach to reach 350 wins in the NCAA. And I thought last year had one of his best coaching performances, as the Lancers are called, for an offensive foul. When they lost Daniels, they were in 2nd place in the league, Coach. He was leading the league in scoring. Yet they came back and won the very next game, and he got them into the tournament. Remember last year there were 11 teams in the WAC, and 3 of them didn't make it. Yet he got there as an 8 seed, and they won a first-round game against number 5 seed Utah Valley. A testament to what Rick Croy can do. Braden Hubbard, he's made some threes the last couple of games and gets that one to drop.
Totally different from what Grand Canyon, the Grand Canyon game for the Wildcats. They had 9 points with about 8 minutes to go in the first half. Looking a lot better.
Abilene Christian fell behind 20-5 on Thursday night. A lob inside, and there's the 6'4" Smith denying Rivera in the open court. And off of his leg and out of bounds. The Puerto Rican couldn't pull off the Euro step.
Well.
And in comes Sam Silverstein, a transfer from Harvard. You looked at Harvard, didn't you?
They turned me down.
Oh, yeah. You went to the Harvard of the Southwest, as they call it, McMurray University.
Yeah. I thought that was Saul Ross, but nonetheless.
Well, or as they say, Harvard is the McMurray of the Northeast.
Yeah.
Silverstein. Cal Baptist at 8-9, 1-2 in conference play. They played in Stephenville, an hour and a half away from here on Thursday night. And there's a travel on Silverstein. And there's our first media timeout. Abilene Christian trying to reacquaint itself with its home gym, off to a good start at Moody Coliseum. They lead CBU 9-5. Back here at Moody Coliseum, 3rd season since a massive renovation. Opened back in 1968. And Abilene Christian, which had 4 home games to start the season, Coach, I said it earlier, they've only played 2 Division I opponents since November the 16th, and 3 straight trips out west for Brett Tanner's team to open conference play.
Yeah, here we are nearly to February.
Yeah.
They're finally going to get a true test of what they're really like when they piggyback these games.
3 straight home games for Abilene Christian, starting tonight. Keon Williams scored the first 5 for ACU. This is Rivera. Abilene Christian is one of the teams least likely to shoot 3-pointers in the nation. They've made a couple, and it's going to be Braden Hubbard committing the loose ball foul.
You know,
9-5.
One thing I would tell if I were ACU, I would come off the screens and go a little bit deeper than what they're going. They're afraid of the turnover. They get into traffic, and Yana Rivera especially, he can take people off the dribble off that high screen.
Daniels is a prolific scorer, as we talked about. That's a double dribble.
Yeah.
That's the 5th turnover in 5 minutes even. And yet, he is always trying to get his teammates involved, especially early. He knows he can score at any moment. He wants to get his teammates involved.
Well, that's why you and I talked about this at the beginning. The verb that we chose tonight was probe.
Yeah.
This young man probes for shots.
Nazir DeGrew, second-year Wildcat from New Orleans, into the point spot. Under Jack Madden, back in the game. Wildcats bringing out the grays tonight. And here's Hubbard to the rim and finishing. And there's a timeout from Rick Croy. He's seen enough. Hubbard is a player who transferred from Connors State in Oklahoma, and watch the move. This is what Brett Tanner saw in him when he brought him to Abilene.
Yeah, and that's what we've been talking about. I think that they should take him off the dribble, go a little bit deeper, and don't go 1-2 dribble, two, 3 power dribbles and then pick the ball up, because everyone freezes on the perimeter. Go on and attempt the shot. Get on the free throw line. The good things are going to happen if you get in the paint.
Brett Tanner said that he believes when a player comes into a program, be he a freshman or a transfer, he hopes it only takes a semester to acclimate to the program. He said sometimes it takes a year. He said ideally half a year. He said with Braden Hubbard, the talent is there.
Oh, yeah.
For him, it's about playing with confidence. He thinks he might have given too much respect to his Division I opponent. Go be who you are, and he scored an average of 15 points the last couple of games. And CBU unable to finish, and DeGrew comes out of there with a rebound.
Right there. There you go. That's what you want to do if you're a Wildcat, just go as deep as you can.
6th turnover of the first 5+ minutes. Hunter Jack Madden has had so few open shots in the last month. He was a WAC player of the week back in early December, but has been scoreless in 3 of the last 4 games. And a travel on Leo Bettiol. The drop step. Not copacetic for Gene Grimshaw. With Eric Kronbusch, our officials tonight, Pete Larson as well. Grimshaw's called a travel on each team tonight, so going old school. There's Gene. You tell him, Gene.
Copacetic, and you're talking about Harvard.
Yeah. All right, Daniels has attempted just 1 shot. 4th in the nation in field goal attempts. Brantley Stevenson has seen his minutes dwindle this year. Javante Johnson, a Colorado State transfer with the ball. Single digits on the shot clock. No problem. Daniels for 3. Nope. And Dontrez Williams, the freshman for Abilene Christian, pulls down the rebound. Hunter Jack Madden bouncing it to Bettiol, the 2 scoring stars who've struggled to score, and Bettiol has a rare field goal and another timeout.
Someone didn't pay attention on the scouting report. I can understand why the 2 timeouts. We've got to rally. We've got to regroup. They're getting it. ACU, if you watch the video, which you and I've had, they don't get in that deep. Now, all of a sudden tonight, they're going a little bit deeper. They're taking an extra dribble, the power dribble.
Yeah.
But and it's good things are happening. They're glad to be home.
Well, and the last time they were home, they played Stephen F. Austin. Leo Bettiol had 21 points at halftime. Since then, 2 of his last 3 games, he's not had a field goal and only 14 total points. So for Bettiol, the big man who is playing at an all-conference level up through the end of December, that is a welcome sight, an early bucket for Bettiol and a 13-5 Abilene Christian lead. And suddenly it's been 4 minutes since the last bucket for the Lancers. And Rick Croy's already blown through half of his timeouts. Stevenson back to Daniels. Javante Johnson lets it rip. And that's Braden Hubbard skying for the rebound. 2 of 7 from the floor and 6 turnovers for the Lancers so far.
Yeah, this is a carryover from Tarleton for CBU. They're not shooting the ball very well. They didn't shoot the ball well at all in Stephenville.
That's Hornecker, good mid-range shooter, and that one rims the basket. Yeah, they were, what, 5 of 21 in the first half before coming back to make it a 2-point game in Stephenville. Daniels trying to draw some contact. He gets it up on the rim, and Bradley Hennig is able to get the offensive rebound. Second one of the night for CBU. An aggressive screen as Daniels finds Hennig, blocked at the rim by Hornecker, I believe. Dontrez Williams wraps it up, goes to the hole, and he'll get free throws.
This has caught me totally off guard, Grant. I did not anticipate ACU going this deep. They're going all the way to the hole. They're having to create shots. They're trying, you know, they've traditionally tried to create off their half-court offense, but now they're taking it, running up and down the floor, getting in some transition deals.
Dontrez Williams, the freshman. Ooh, coaxes that one over the front arc of the rim. Jack Sawyer sprints into the game, a freshman from Aledo, Texas, in southwest portion of DFW.
Quite a story, Jack Sawyer. Came in here as a preferred walk-on. Now he's getting some valuable playing time.
And that one is saved in bounds by Donaway. Couldn't save it. His foot was on the line. Yeah, he's playing now. There's Dontrez, another freshman. Sawyer is playing because Joe Vinzant, a transfer from Liberty, and the best plus-minus man on the team in terms of how the team performs when he's in the game, was lost to a season-ending shoulder injury. So Sawyer said in late December, yeah, I'll pull the red shirt. Beautiful backdoor cut, but Stevenson couldn't finish. And here's Keon Williams with a stutter step. Goes to Naz DeGrew, the short corner. DeGrew to the basket. Oh, he traveled. Yeah, got up in the air with nowhere to go. Third turnover for Abilene Christian. And a media timeout. Big early lead for Abilene Christian. CBU down on the road, big for the second time in 3 days. Busy day in the WAC. The game already completed, and this is one of 3 night games. Abilene Christian leading CBU 14-5. Dominic Daniels, what an absolute superstar. He took the WAC by storm last year, transferring from San Bernardino Valley College, where he scored nearly 1,500 points in just 2 seasons. Led the WAC in scoring last year before he suffered a season-ending knee injury. And he's at it again. There is Dominique, straight out of Compton, California. And of course, Cal Baptist, which is about an hour inland. So many of their players and their fans, their families are, you know, they've got one eye on the court and one eye on the wildfires as well. It's something that's caught all of our attention, and obviously our prayers are with everyone who's lost and all those who are fighting those fires. And Rick Croy, as if, you know, the season isn't hard enough coaching college basketball, you've got real life happening. Not that this isn't important, but it puts in perspective when you consider all the collateral damage that's happened out in Southern California.
What exactly, do you know the history of California Baptist?
Yeah.
Is it Bakersfield?
In Riverside, California.
Okay.
Opened back in 1955. There is a couple of greats at the point for ACU. Jalen Franklin there, bottom left of your screen, holding the little one. And Damian Daniels. ACU had a Daniels of their own, a lefty. Pretty good lefty as well.
Right.
As a freshman, helped Abilene Christian with Jalen Franklin get to the NCAA tournament for the very first time in just their second year of eligibility after making the transition to Division I. Those 2 guys could absolutely go, couldn't they? Jalen Franklin, Damian Daniels.
Jalen Franklin is one of the greatest point guards I've seen in Abilene. You know, I don't know that I've ever seen anyone better than that right there.
We've had a clock malfunction. Did we mention they haven't played here in a while? They forgot where to plug everything in.
The cobwebs.
All right, so Gene Grimshaw, Pete Larson, and Eric Kronbusch. They are trying to get everything set. Brett Tanner even went over there to try to plug it in. We mentioned ACU just hasn't been home very much. And take a look. They had a 6-game road trip that ended against Baylor. Came home, played Division III Hardin-Simmons. Went on the road in Commerce, Texas. Went on the road to College Station. And then opened the season. And coach, not every road trip's the same. They go to Utah Valley, come home. Go to Seattle, come home. Go to Phoenix to play Grand Canyon Thursday night. And as Jaden mentioned in our open, actually CBU beat Abilene Christian back to Abilene for this game because they came from Tarleton State. That is a brutal stretch for anybody.
Well, that is just, I don't understand the scheduling. They should have been able to find a way to piggyback the game.
A Thursday, Saturday. For example, this is the third straight for CBU, but they played Thursday an hour and a half away from here, and then they're playing here. So if you can get those two long ones in 48 hours, then you're okay.
I was interested to see when the shot clock went out on the north goal. Brett Tanner was the first one to get up and try to fix it because we had a rhythm.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking. We had a rhythm.
Did Rick Croy unplug it when we weren't looking? He's already used 2 of his timeouts. Well, Rick Croy, the all-time leader in coaching victories at CBU. Here comes Evan Nimick, the sports information director. Okay, so they're going to turn both shot clocks off, and the PA announcer, Charles Ellis, I believe, is will have to announce, almost like fans counting it down, 10, 9, 8. So they turn both of them off. Eric Kronbusch is going to confirm that. Right. There you go. And Eric Kronbusch just confirmed with us, the official, what Evan Nimick told us just moments ago. By the way, our prayers are with Evan's wife, Addison. She's going to deliver their second child here next week. So all the best to the Nimick family. All right, so there's Deanna Shake, one of ACU's great women's basketball players. She's on the media table. I think they're reaching. This is like Monty Hall. Let's make a deal. What's in your bag? You have a timer.
You have a shot clock.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at Jack Sawyer during this timeout. This plays into California Baptist. This plays into their hand right here with this. It's a break in the action. It breaks the rhythm and whatnot. But Jack Sawyer, if you don't know much about Jack comes from one of the most elite football schools in the state of Texas, in that he comes from Alito. And I don't know how many state championships they've won in football.
All right, so the PA announcer, Charles Ellis, is telling the fans that he's going to be counting down the shot clock. Stevenson inbounds against a bit of pressure. Musa is going to run the point. Daniels on the bench at the moment. Smith back into the point for Abilene Christian. Coleman working on Sawyer. And another deflection by Smith. CBU able to control it. And Musa gets a tough bucket.
Oh, that was a tough bucket. Nice move. Negotiating without a shot clock when they're used to watching the shot clock and making some moves.
First field goal since the 17-minute mark. Nearly a 6-minute drought. Horniker made a 3 against Grand Canyon. That one's short. That's not option number 1 for Brett Tanner, but Horniker can make it. So Braun draws the foul from Horniker. There's Musa, who played at Black Hills State on the Division II level. Terrific player there before going to Tarleton State. And now at CBU. Betty Old back in the game. And that's Braun.
The way both teams have shot the ball this season, and statistically they don't have really good numbers, but either team.
And turnover number 7 for CBU.
But you want to do something a little different. You might shoot a little early. California Baptist problem is be looking to do something along those lines.
This is uncharacteristic for CBU. They don't turn it over a lot, just 11 per game. In the corner, it's Keon Williams, made a 3 earlier. He'll try one here. And rebound chased down by Musa and the Lancers. Here's Coleman on Hubbard. And he'll draw free throws.
Good move.
First trip to the line for CBU tonight.
Strong move. I think he transferred from LSU. He's a good-looking kid. He's scored 33, I think, was against SMU.
Well, that was a game that CBU tied late, only to see the Mustangs themselves having a nice year.
Yeah, they are.
Score with under 5 seconds to go. It's a great free throw shooting team. 77% as a team. Coleman is not among their better ones, 69%, but he gets that one to splash in. 14-8.
I think Dominic sat down for the last 2 or 3 minutes. He's had an opportunity to rethink. I bet he comes out gunning.
He's taken 3 shots, missed them all. And that's Dontrez Williams ripping down the rebound for Abilene Christian.
Let's see how they go up quick.
And now it's ACU in a bit of a drought. Keon Williams to Hunter Jack Madden. And again, no shot clock. Backdoor cut to Smith and gets it to go.
Good movement off the ball. Good screen.
Smith really good at finishing. Part of that because of that 6'4" frame. And there's a bump from Smith. Denying Daniels. No free throws yet. One more look here. Normally it's Smith distributing. This time he's on the receiving end.
Smith's going to have to get over those screens. All the guards for ACU, if they're going to guard Daniel, you got to get over that right there.
Oh, and that's off the leg of Daniels. Turnover number 8.
Yeah, you can't have that switch and live with that switch for Leo's guarding Daniels.
And so Daniels, who scored at least 15 every game this year, fouled out of the game Thursday night after a couple of free throws from him, pulled them within 2. A very questionable call for his 5th to foul out of the game. And they struggled down the stretch, and the Texans got it done. Williams has been active. Through the legs of Bedio, and that's turnover number 4 for Abilene Christian.
You know, if you're ACU, Grant, you're learning to live without Hunter Jack right now, because Hunter Jack he's just a processor right now. He's distributing. He hasn't taken maybe 1 shot.
No shots taken, no points in 3 of his last 4 games, Hunter Jack Madden.
But he's a threat.
Fighting
Always a
through.
threat.
And he's still a target, absolutely. Here's a free throw line jumper, good from Musa. And he's got 3 field goals, 6 points, helping to keep the Lancers within arm's reach here. Early stages. First home game for Abilene Christian. Bedio, a bucket already, and that was a late whistle that goes the way of Abilene Christian as Braun fouled Bedio.
I'm not real sure how many possessions that they've had, but Leo, that's probably the 2nd or 3rd time that he's done what we traditionally see him do, the games that you and I've watched.
And I think you saw right there his inability to lift with that foot injury. I told you, I think he's had more shots blocked in the last couple of games than he's had in 3 years at Abilene Christian. Just not, again, with the foot injury. Madden dealing with the tendonitis. There's no crying in basketball. Brett Tanner's not asking for sympathy. A lot of teams dealing with it. CBU's had Jonathan Griman out for a good chunk of the year, but you got 2 of the top 3 starters who just can't get off the ground, literally, without pain. And so ACU's gone 1 of 2 at the line now 3 times. And it's a 7-point advantage. Musa denied by Williams. They're going to count the basket. Brett Tanner disagrees. Williams says, let's look at that again. We'll get another look. The officials aren't looking at it.
It was off the glass. Yeah.
Hits the glass, it's automatic. So Musa with 8. 8 of the 12 for CBU. playing without a shot clock because one of them is not working, so they have to turn both of them off. PA announcer counting it down.
You got to go to the hole.
Dontrez Williams gets it up on the rim. Keon Williams sticks it back up and in.
What an athletic move right there.
So they beat the shot clock.
Yeah.
And Keon Williams now with 7. Abilene Christian's 19. At this point in the game Thursday night, Abilene Christian had 5 points against GCU on the road in Phoenix. Daniels for 3. And Christian Alston, the rebound, another freshman, to his fellow first-year player. Dontrez Williams throws it back out high, and they just reset. Alston missed 5 straight games of a horrible bout with the flu. Lost about 20 pounds. He didn't have it to lose. DeGrew, tough one. No. Javante Johnson has the rebound for the Lancers. Cut off by Keon Williams, who wouldn't let him drive.
Now here's what DeGrew's got to get over this. There you go. You got to get over that if you're going to guard that kid right there.
And another loose ball. Out of bounds, I think, off Alston. Yep. And a media timeout. Abilene Christian has led from the jump, and they lead here by 7. A look at some of the greats in ACU's young Division I history. CBU also just having recently made the transition to Division I. And here they are, 2 teams that never met until they became WAC opponents.
26, the goaltending call is
19-12, Abilene Christian has led since an early 3-0 deficit. It was Martell Williams who got the scoring started. He tries to score again and can't get it to go. Saved in bounds by Coleman. Here's Alston, bumped as he goes to the rim. Unable to finish. And again, it's Musa bringing the ball up court.
That surprised me a little bit.
Daniels has taken 5 shots, made 1 of them. Hennig tips that one into the corner. Now 5 of 16.
Yeah, we're going to run something. Let's see what they do. I want to watch these high screens. There it is right there.
Bettiol screens for DeGrew. He can make a mid-range jumper. That's not normally his game. Neither is this. But that is getting to the free throw line. It's usually just after catching it on the block. But Bettiol to the line to shoot 2. Abilene Christian's 3 of 6. They've not been a good free throw shooting team. It's cost them. Cost them games a couple of times.
You know, that's probably the one distinguishable difference between California Baptist and ACU would be the free throw percentage.
77% CBU. Abilene Christian under 70%. And there's another miss. Bettiol, a redshirt junior, 4th year in the program, 3rd year as a player. And Brett Tanner, if he had any hair, he'd pull it out. It's been a rough stretch. 5 straight losses. They were 8-5. And again, 1 of 2 at the line. So 4 of 8 as a team. Their lead is 8, led by as many as 9. Daniels this time brings it across the stripe.
They're going to get him loose. They're going to get ACU's going to try to get Hunter Jack loose. California Baptist trying to get Daniels loose.
And how about Keon Williams at 6'5" defending the 5'10"? Oh, they're going to get Keon on a reach-in. Keon at 6'5" against the 5'10" Daniels. But Daniels so often early in the game tries to get his team involved, and then after that happens, Rick Croy says, okay, pal, turn it loose.
Let it rain.
Leading the league in scoring, although it's not been as good, quite as good in their 3 conference games. 21 for the season, 16 points per game in the 3 conference games, and normally dead eye at the line, 89%. That one won't drop. And a friendly roll there, gets 1 of 2. Smith is the player that Brett Tanner wants to emerge as the clear point guard. Needs to put on a little bit of bulk. Mashai Hill, number 11 in the game, in the low post. Madden catch and shoot for 3, and he's had a lot of those in the last couple of games, rimming the basket. Good looks. He's 7 of his last 38 from three-point range in the last 7+ games. This is a terrific career three-point shooter. Musa goes cross-court to Silverstein. And Hunter Jack with the rebound for Abilene Christian. 1 of 5 from long range are the Lancers. That's where I think Brett Tanner would like to see Hunter Jack take a shot in transition. Williams strong to the basket, but can't get it to go.
Yeah, I think you're right. Transition, he's got to lather up. That's his first attempt.
Martell Williams to A.J. Braun. A lot of contact, and Mashai Hill is going to get dinged for the personal foul. And Braun, who last year led the nation when he played for Wright State, led the nation in field goal percentage at nearly 69%. Hill saying, I went straight up, I thought. Got it with the body, perhaps.
It's a different interpretation this year. You know, we've talked about that. The block charge, or you're in charge of, you've got your own, basically Air Force, you have your own airspace.
Yeah. Braun is not a great free throw shooter, but gets both to go there. It's a 5-point game, and a little bit of full court pressure here. ACU breaks it with Hunter Jack Madden. Smith will set things up.
I was going to say it's interesting to see pressure against ACU because that bothered them against Grand Canyon.
Strong move to the bucket and a good finish from Dontrez Williams. There's a lot to love about the freshman from Sikeston, Missouri. First or second off the bench every night. And Daniels denied. Are they going to count that one as well? Take another look here. You tell me.
Go over to the screen. If he gets up, yeah, that's a good call.
And again, it's a 5-point game. So Daniels with 5. Daniels was 13 of 15 at the free throw line Thursday night. Williams has his pocket picked and then ties it up. And the possession arrow favors Abilene Christian. And they'll have it when we come back from this media timeout. ACU's led by as many as 9. Lead is 5 at the moment. First half action from Abilene. WAC basketball on ESPN+. Good game here from Abilene. Both teams looking for a win. We mentioned only 2 road wins across the league in the first 3 weeks of the season. Cbu looking to pick one up here and win in Abilene for the first time in 3 tries. Abilene Christian looking for any win they can get after 5 straight losses. Rick Croy bringing his team to West Texas for the 3rd time. Abilene Christian ball, Hunter Jack Madden to the inbound. 7 seconds on the shot clock, and that one won't go from Rich Smith. Daniels wants to push. Musa transition 3, won't go, and it's Keon Williams having the ball knocked out of his hands. Daniels steps back for 3, and Williams just can't secure it. Musa tries again. 3rd time was a charm, and Brett Tanner. All right, so a couple of offensive rebounds lead to a 3 from Musa.
Yeah, it was just a hustle situation in an open look like that from Musa.
Well, he had 2 open looks from the same spot. And so ACU, which led by as many as 9, has seen that advantage whittled down to 2. 5 offensive rebounds for CBU to mitigate what has been poor shooting. 7 of 21, but that was a second chance bucket.
You know, the pace of the game when it first started was a lot of sharing, a lot of looks, a lot of energy. And you always settled into the kind of team that you've always been. And now the statistics are catching up with both teams.
Cbu nursing a 2-point lead. And Betio working on Braun. Double teamed. Oh, he may have gotten away with a shove. And off the hands of Smith. Cbu can take the lead here or tie it. Moose has been terrific offensively.
Yeah. He's been in possession of the ball, like this possession right here. I bet 80% of the time he's brought the ball up the floor.
Gets up in the air, finds Silverstein. And again, no shot clock. Smith knocks it into the cheerleaders.
Good hustle. Good execution. I'm impressed with the patience that California Baptist has shown.
3 seconds on the shot clock. Again, the one on this end not working, so they've turned both of them off.
3, 2.
Martell Williams, this will count if it goes. No, but he gets his own rebound. Fourth offensive rebound now in the last couple of possessions.
That's a killer for the Wildcats.
And a thunderous slam from Silverstein.
Really not smooth.
He went Ivy League on him.
Did he not?
The Harvard transfer ties the game. Abilene Christian really struggling here offensively of late. Betio gets some contact and banks that one in, and Betio has 6. Quickly down court come the Lancers. Spin move from Martell Williams, and he answers in a hurry.
That's the kind of basket you got to look for when you're struggling statistically. You got to get down the floor and look for the first easy shot you can get. Never turn down a layup.
California Baptist scored just 20 in the first half against Tarleton State Thursday night. They got 24 late in the first half here tonight. Keon Williams. Tough shot, out of bounds off of Cbu.
What Keon did right there is exactly what they've gotten away from the first 6, 7, 8 minutes of this ball game. Then that tried to execute.
Watch Silverstein again.
Wow.
A bounce into Betio.
Now this next possession right here, this next pass, you've got to go to the hole.
That ball was kicked.
Yeah.
And so they'll reset the shot clock to Silverstein's number with 1:07 to go. There is urgency, and we've seen both teams playing with that kind of effort. You say it's the 3rd week of the conference season, but it feels later than that. Every team's going to make it to the conference tournament, but the 8 and 9 teams will play off in St. George, Utah for a spot in Vegas. This is Dontrez Williams, tough one. He'll get free throws out of this.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right there, Grant. You've got to take them off the dribble. You've got to get into the paint. Good things happen. You get on the free throw line. Now that free throw hasn't been the friend of the Wildcats like it has been for California Baptist.
Well, last Saturday night in Seattle, Brett Tanner's team did not get a free throw in the first half. They had 7 for the entire game. Seattle had 27 free throw attempts and won the game by 2 on a late bucket.
It's really weird how that works out. When I was coaching, I wouldn't, on a road game, I would practice just 10 free throws a day and make them value the free throw on the road.
All right, so ACU gets its first 2 for 2 at the line tonight. Dontrez Williams has 5. 3 talented freshmen for Abilene Christian: Dontrez Williams, Christian Alston, and Jack Sawyer. 2 of them in the game at the moment. And then there is the senior, Dominic Daniels. Just 2 of 7 from the floor. Moose has been outstanding with 9. Working his way into the corner with a pass to Daniels for 3. No, and Dontrez Williams elevates. When I say shot clock is off, wow. Blocking foul before he went up. No shot, says Gene Grimshaw.
Good things happen when you're that aggressive. Watch this. Now that used to be, if he had fallen, you got a shot at a 50-50 chance of someone calling a charge. But that policy has changed.
So instead of an and one, you get a 1 and 1.
Right.
And Dontrez Williams, 62% on the season, 3 afford the line tonight. Will not get the second one. So wipe off the bucket and an and one chance, and they come up empty.
Yeah, it's an empty possession. That hurt.
And ACU just 6 of 11 at the free throw line, a bugaboo all season.
Now what you don't want to do is foul this young man with the ball. Don't foul
Shot clock's
Daniels.
been off for most of the game because of a malfunction. Here it's because it's under 30 seconds. Loose ball. It's DeGrew. No, tipped up in the air. I think it'll count. Leo Benio. They say count it, but they're going to review.
Yeah, it looked like it went in.
An acrobatic finish from the Italian.
A very physical finish.
And a guy who couldn't get a field goal in 2 of the last 3 games gets a most unlikely one there. The call on the court was good, but they're going to review it to see if indeed that was the case. Will take another. How about the play from DeGrew? Well, again, you don't have the shot clock on, so you can't see the red light.
I can't see.
But there's Jaden West with Brett Tanner. Jaden?
That stat where it's in your favor.
Well, you know, bottom line is, man, I know your question, but I'm going to answer it a different way. We had a 10-point lead. There was a delay in the game, and we lost our intensity. We can't do that. We lost our intensity for 4 minutes, which is why the score is the way it is. Otherwise, we're up 10, 15 points right now. So it's all about our intensity and our urgency.
What adjustments do you need to make to continue that intensity and urgency and get it ramped back up for that second half?
Look, it's just energy on the defensive end, man. When we're playing with energy and fire on the defensive end, then, man, good things happen on the offensive end.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
They're giving Jaden a master class in interviewing a head coach. You ask whatever you want. I'm going to answer however I want. Yeah, that's how you do it. Brett, thanks. Jaden, thank you. But you said that earlier. That break because of the shot clock malfunction. That helped California Baptist.
Yes, it helped California Baptist.
Halftime here in Abilene. Abilene Christian leading California Baptist 28-24.
My name is Matthew Delacruz, alongside my co-host Zion Webb. Your score, 28-24. Very defensive first half. Zion, what did you see there?
For sure. With ACU, I'm telling you right now, at first it was the intensity for ACU. And I just want to read something right before the beginning of the 5-game skid. They talked about it a little earlier. We lost 5 games in a row coming into this game. Brett Tanner, he said we're playing really good basketball. We were. The last couple of outings, we haven't. It's toughness things. We started to think we didn't have to do the tough things. You forget about what won you those games earlier. And, you know, you're talking about right when he was talking to Jaden just now a second ago, he said it's the intensity. Man, they have to bring it back to their side of the court because that's how CBU got back into this game here.
Yeah, second chance points were a big deal down the stretch. ACU was leading the rebound margin early in that first half, but since trailed, now they're down 7 rebounds. They're losing the rebound margin 21-14. Let's take a look at some halftime stats here. Keon Williams has been in and out for ACU. Leonardo Bedial is having a good game, 3 for 3, 2 for 4 from the free throw line. However, for CBU, it's been unlikely players making big-time plays. Zion, what have you seen out of Adam Musa and Marta Williams?
Yeah, so I know we're looking at the guys right here that are putting up the points, but for me, it's about the guy that is. And I'm talking to you about Daniels. That dude, he's the big one for this team. He's leading them in points a game, and right now he only has 5 points. That sucks for them. You know why? Because they're holding on to the ball way too long. These guys need to make sure that they're feeding the ball to the right guys and not holding on to the ball and staying late into the shot clock.
Dominique Daniels, like you said, 5 points, averaging 11.9 on the season. However, contested shots has been the name of the game and is what has kept ACU in this defensively. Zion, let's talk about that a little bit. What have you seen out of ACU's defense, and how have you seen CBU respond?
Yeah, so for ACU, they're just coming at them like, man, I'm telling you, right when they touch the ball, they're right there in their face, and CBU's not doing a good job, like I said earlier, moving the ball around. One thing you can't do is not move the ball. You become stagnant, one-dimensional, and ACU's just feeding off of that, and you can see they're putting up these shove tops. Sometimes they're making it, but these tough shots are gonna not bring them in the long run very well.
Stevenson with that high-powered dunk there to regain some momentum at the end of that first half. ACU isn't shooting poorly on the season. They're just under 40% per game in the WAC. Not great, not bad. Against Grand Canyon in their last outing, they shot 42% from the three-point line. However, they're just not getting shots up. How have you seen ACU control and take care of the ball and limit turnovers so far?
For ACU, the three ball today has been big for them. Just putting up the three in general is already big. You talk about simple math, 2 versus 3. ACU, I'm pretty sure they're in the bottom 8% of NCAA in the whole national level of NCAA Division #1. So these guys just putting up threes, it helps them so much be able to make these guys make second chance decisions when guarding them.
ACU has done a great job in this one so far. However, let's take a look around the WAC. Utah Valley is the headline, 5-0 in conference, best scoring offense in the conference, and best scoring defense in the conference. Excuse me, best defense in the conference as well.
Yeah.
They are playing some high-level basketball, #1 in rebound differential and margin. What have you seen out of Utah Valley?
Yeah, Utah Valley, top to bottom, just a dominant team. I'm telling you, they're bringing. They a couple days ago on the 9th, they just beat up on GCU, and going down just a little bit, Daniels, that's #1 right there. 8th, we got the pleasure of seeing him tonight. He's 8th in the nation right now, 20 points on 9 different occasions this year. And come on now, big 1-2 from Seattle U. Last one against Utah Tech, 22 points with 15 rebounds. He's just a dog.
Yeah, credit Todd Phillips with that Utah Valley squad, and credit Grand Canyon for bouncing back after their loss against Utah Valley. Well, that's our halftime report here from the 3rd floor of Moody Coliseum. My name is Matthew Dallacruz, again alongside the great Zion Webb. We'll be back with your second half of WAC action with Grant and Ron.
A chilly night here in West Texas and a low-scoring first half in this WAC matchup. Abilene Christian at home leading CBU 28-24, getting ready for the second half here. Grant Boone and Ron Holmes. You heard Brett Tanner say to Jaden West earlier that things were going great, just what we wanted, until here on their home court, the shot clock malfunction. He thought that gave CBU an advantage. You did too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It broke the rhythm of the game. The Wildcats were taking them off the dribble, getting in deep penetration. They had a moment to stop and think about what they were doing and forgot what they were doing.
Yeah. It was 14-5 at that point in favor of Abilene Christian. Since then, California Baptist has come back. Take a look at the first half stats. Neither team shooting it great. And the free throw shooting not listed there. A struggle for ACU again tonight, 6 of 11. The rebounds and those offensive rebounds, as Matthew and Zion were talking about, big. The turnovers, this is a CBU team that only gives it up 11 times a game. They had 9 in the first 12 minutes or so. They curtailed it a little bit in the last few minutes, and that's allowed them to get back in the game.
Now, I want to point out the fact that he burned, Coach Croy burned 2 timeouts to break up the rhythm that the Wildcats had going on. So the clock helped him out. That was a 3rd timeout. That was a big momentum swing.
Shot clocks are back in operation here as the teams switch sides, and CBU trying to improve to 2-2 in conference play and even their overall record at 9-9. Abilene Christian 0-3 with all 3 of those games out west. Finally back home tonight.
If you're looking for a matchup in the second half right here, if you're at home watching this, you need to watch Rich Smith and Dominique Daniels. Because Daniels is going to try to take over this game. And he's going to try to get statistically what he's been shooting. What's he shooting 21, 22 times a game.
There's Rick Croy. He and Brett Tanner both Division II players. Now Division I head coaches. CBU gets first crack here at the second half. And Musa, leading scorer for the Lancers, throws it away, and there's an early turnover, kind of like the first half, and Smith will try to finish and does. Rich Smith pushes ACU on top by 6. And the Wildcats have scored 6 in a row after CBU tied it.
All right, here we go. He gives up after one dribble. I'm waiting on him to take over.
He's in the corner open here. Takes the 3. Working the baseline. 10 seconds on the shot clock, which we can now tell without the help of the PA announcer. Coleman gets some contact and a foul on Braden Hubbard. Into the free throw line will go Kendall Coleman.
You know, if Kendall Coleman gets to turn his left shoulder into you, you're pretty much dead in the water.
Shreveport kid, went to LSU initially and then to Northwestern State, where he averaged a double-double as a sophomore. That one won't cooperate. He was all Southland Conference for the Demons and all Southland Conference defense as well, for transferring here in his second season for Rick Croy.
You know, that used to be you didn't have to have a program. Now you need to have a program so you know where they originated. There are no more organic kids much.
1 of 2 at the line. 5-point lead for Abilene Christian. Everybody's going to make it to the tournament, as we said. But for Abilene Christian, desperate for a victory. So hard to come by of late. And Madden fumbles that one. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hunter Jack Madden has not scored, taken just 1 shot. Bettiol, little floater, no. And a good seal off by Musa to get the weak side rebound. Daniels has scored at least 15 in every game this year. He's got 5 so far. Braun on Hubbard. A lot of contact. Out of bounds it goes, off of Coleman. That looked like a wrestling match.
Yeah.
2 points for the takedown.
Yeah, Man Mountain Mike. I am a little perplexed by officiating now. They sure enough let him play, and I'm glad to see that.
Well, in the game Thursday night, Tarleton State and CBU shot a combined 43 free throw attempts. Well, a prayer not answered from Bettiol. He got blocked, and again, no lift with that foot injury. Taking nothing away from the defensive effort by any means. And Musa gets it slapped out of his hands, and Hubbard picks up his 4th. Tanner disagrees. Yeah. So Hubbard comes out of the game with 5 points, and Jack Sawyer will enter for him.
He's done a commendable job as a freshman.
Go screen and roll, and Braun rolls to the bucket and finishes over Bettiol. And it's a 3-point game again.
All right,
oh, it's a little give and go, and Smith finishes with the offhand.
very nice.
Assist from Bettiol.
Yes, Smith and Daniels taking over.
7 points for Rich Smith. Here's Daniels to the hoop. Blocking foul called against ACU, and again, so many points Daniels gets. Come at the free throw line. Take another look here, Coach. Oh, this is the give and go.
Yes.
Smith's a righty who can finish with a left. And Daniels the lefty. Great free throw shooter. 2 of 3 at the line tonight. So how about this? He's taken 313 shots, Dominic Daniels, from the floor. And now 107 free throws, 400 plus shot attempts. And some full court pressure here. Now they back off.
Token pressure. You know, you're straight up with Daniels, and he leans one way or the other. You have to respect that, and that's how he's able to take him off the dribble on that last possession.
Madden just can't get a shot off. Smith working the right side. Finds Keon Williams. Underneath to Madden. Wild shot. Pokes it out of bounds, but unable to dislodge it from Kendall Coleman.
Awkward.
Daniels to the hoop. Kicks it out. Musa fakes the three. Back to Daniels to tie it. Yes! Dominic Daniels, his first 3 in 5 tries. And we're tied at 32.
Now you got to get back to what you were doing in the first half. You don't want to hold the ball out there. You got to go to the hole right now. Go to the hole.
8-2 run.
There you go. There you go.
Smith finds Williams. He'll try a long one, and he gets another one to drop.
Hey, that's good coaching. That's what
Great
you got to
shooting.
do.
Makes great coaches, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And Abilene Christian, not a great three-point shooting team. 3 of 7 tonight after going 6 of 14, nearly turned over. And Daniels on Sawyer. Saves it inbounds and then throws it onto his bench. And we got a media timeout. Keon Williams, the Oklahoma State Cowboy, has his second 3 of the night. And Abilene Christian back on top.
Welcome back to Moody Coliseum. Abilene Christian Wildcats with a 3-point lead over the California Baptist Lancers. We want to highlight Hunter Jack Madden for the ACU Wildcats tonight, making his 53rd consecutive start in a Wildcat uniform. The second closest behind him is Leonardo Bettiol with 15. In a year with 10 new faces around the ACU program, Madden is the consistency that the Wildcats need to turn the ship around and start clicking. Last season, the Wildcats went through a similar losing streak to begin conference play. They were on the road and lost 3 straight. Madden then took over the offense and shot 6 of 11 from the field with 4 threes and 18 points to lead the Wildcats to a win over UT Arlington. Tonight, only just 0 points on the board for Madden, 0 for 2 from the field. Abilene Christian is going to need some good shooting performances down the stretch from Madden if they want to get their offense back on track. Grant, Ron, guys, back to you.
Jaden, thank you. Horniker, a catch and a finish and a foul. Keon Williams, the leading scorer, feeds the post, and Horniker feasts. Perfectly lobbed. Braun couldn't stop Horniker.
You know, come out of a timeout with something like that is impressive. Tanner's from Kansas, though. You expect to see that.
Free throw. Oh, friendly. Friendly. And so, Abilene Christian pushes the lead back to 6, as they did early in the second half. Brantley Stevenson in number 4. Minutes have dwindled, cut in half this year. No injury to speak of, just matchup coach's decisions. It's Martell Williams, knocked away by Christian Alston, and the freshman takes it away. And here come the Wildcats with DeGrew in the open court.
He's showing
Horniker
numbers.
begging for it again.
He's showing numbers.
Alston. Get rid of it. At 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Got a lot of time. Let's go to the hole with it.
Pull-up jumper for Keon. No. Rebound Braun. And a good defensive possession by CBU. Oh, there's a steal by Sawyer, and he finds Horniker. 2 first-year players for the Wildcats conspire. 14 turnovers for a team that only turns it over 11 per game. CBU struggling to hang on against a team that is one of the best in the country at taking it away. Horniker for 3.
If you're Brett Tanner, you got to live with that.
Do you have to like it, though? That's the question. Look at Coleman. Denied by Horniker with his second block. I think Tanner would prefer Horniker get the old-fashioned three-point play more than that. But take another look here. Look clean.
It was. I mean, it's on top.
Javante Johnson, 13, checks back in, fighting through some traffic. And Hennig in the game as well. No look to Silverstein and denied. Bettiol, I think, was there. Daniels, second chance. I think they're going the other way with Silverstein.
Silverstein over the back.
14:04 to go. Abilene Christian is led by as many as 9. CBU had an early 3-0 lead. It's been tight the whole way.
I've been watching Daniels the last 2 or 3 possessions. He's in search of screens. He gives up the ball. In my opinion, he gives up the ball a little too early. He needs to force the action.
Poked away from DeGrew, who regains it. Horniker finds Dontrez Williams. Can really elevate and can't get that finish, and Hennig the rebound. Abilene Christian 4 of 10 in the second half shooting. Here's Daniels. Throws it away to DeGrew. 6th turnover for Dominic Daniels tonight. Got Bettiol and Horniker in the game at the same time. It hasn't happened much this year. Yanni Rivera straight on 3. Off the mark, DeGrew the rebound. Can't get the putback. That's been a familiar sight in this 5-game losing streak.
Yes.
Effort is there, but not the finish. And there, Silverstein over Rivera, and instead of an 8-point lead, it's down to 4 again.
That's a good give and go by California Baptist right there. They're staying fresh. The Wildcats are staying fresh, guarding Daniels, and that's why I'm saying Daniels in search of some help. Got to find it through the screening process.
Rivera to Bettiol. A bounce to Horniker. Denied, but a foul. And Horniker to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Good patience, good execution. You know, in any level, if you can go post to post, right there, that's deadly.
Horniker played sparingly at Southern Illinois last year from Amarillo. Played for a coach who was a superstar here in Abilene on the high school level.
Grayson Pillion.
And Horniker's given Brett Tanner 4 points off the bench. Rick Croy trying to figure out a way to pull out a road win here tonight.
Either team loses this game, they're behind the 8 ball, even though you still get to go to the tournament.
Yep. And another miss at the line for AC. They're 8 of 14. And 5 turnovers already in the second half, 4 in the last 4 minutes. Musa creates for Silverstein. No, and Horniker boxes out for the rebound.
Good to be 7 foot.
And CBU, 3 of 12 from long range. They were just 3 of 17 Thursday night. Texas has not been friendly to them. Bettiol on the block.
They're doing all this without Hunter Jack, without the threat of a 3.
4 seconds, 3 seconds. Rivera, desperation. And a long rebound. Good box out by CBU, and Musa chases it down. We'll have a media timeout at the next whistle. CBU down 5. And Dontrez Williams wants to run. Smith in transition, poked away, and a reach-in foul on Musa. The 4th at the half against CBU, and it'll be Wildcat ball when we come back after the media timeout. It's mid-January, feels a little closer to March. Both teams needing a win. Say grace and be back in a moment. Back here at Moody Coliseum with Abilene Christian looking to win for the first time in conference play. CBU at 1 and 2, trying to pick off a road victory. Oh, is it in the hole?
Yes.
This is great practice for me. It's good. It's good. I've got golf coming up here in about a month, and so it looks just like Nelly Corda. One more look here, nothing.
That looked like Nelly Corda.
That did. Yeah. She's cashed in, hasn't she?
Nothing about that swing was Nelly Corda.
No,
was
including
and
nor have I ever seen her in overalls. Brett Tanner
Good
just
call.
trying to find a way. Hunter Jack Madden back in the game, a lob into Keon Williams. 11 and a half minutes to play, and Abilene Christian trying to push their lead to a 3-possession game here. CBU had a big comeback on the road against Tarleton to make it a 2-point game. Bettiol puts the ball on the floor and can't finish. Ball is loose, and it goes out of bounds off of Abilene Christian. Maybe off of Bettiol.
Well, they hammered each other on that possession right there. right here. Let's watch.
Shot fake. And it was Hennig.
It was off the field. Yeah.
All right, so it is CBU ball. The game of the night in the WAC is happening in Phoenix. Grand Canyon hosting Tarleton State, both teams with one loss in league play. And the Lopes up 18-7 in the first 8 minutes, not unlike what they did to the Wildcats Thursday night. All right, here are the Lancers with a chance to make it a one-possession game. Musa into the corner for Stevenson, wide open. Can't get it to go, and here comes Smith. To Dontrez Williams, spins and did everything except the finish.
Yeah.
A little bit out of control there. Musa wants to push.
There's a lot of transition. I think both teams have got the right idea. You got to spread your talent out up and down the floor and look for the first shot you can get. Maybe it's a layup.
Daniels on the bench at the moment. Musa has it poked away. 16 turnovers. Dontrez Williams goes up, no, and ACU cannot score in transition. Good defense in transition by the Lancers. Eddie nearly over the back. Musa hasn't scored in the second half after 9 in the first. 7 on the shot clock. Silverstein. Hennig has it knocked out of his hands and off of him by Keon Williams.
That's incredible. There's so much action going on.
And very few balls going through the nets.
Well, you know, my college coach used to say that was $1 million move and a nickel shot.
This is like billiards. There's no hole.
Yes.
Just keep knocking the ball around.
Oh, my God.
Aye.
A lot of action, though. Entertaining.
DeGrew, and again, two teams who have the intensity, the ones that need a win. DeGrew will try a mid-range. No, an ACU 4 of 17. They've missed 11 of their last 13 shots after getting off to a good start in the second half. Daniels back in the game, but can't get it to go. Tipped up in the air, and Hennig will finish.
Killer. If that's ACU, that kills you right there now. If you're California Baptist, way to go, baby. All the offensive rebounds you can hold.
Williams, no, after making a couple of threes earlier. And the Lancers can tie or get within one here. Daniels just 3 of 12 shooting. Make it 4 of 13, and it's a one-point game. Just when ACU threatens to pull away, Brett Tanner says, come on over. We got a timeout on the floor. 8:58 to go. Dominic Daniels with a dozen. He's needed a lot of shots to get there, but he's brought his team back within one. Well, you got wind chills and shooting percentages in the 20s tonight in Abilene, Texas. ACU 4 of 18 in the second half. They've missed 12 of their last 14 shots. And Rick Croy's Lancers have taken advantage. A lot of missed shots at the rim and in transition for ACU. Brett Tanner called a timeout, puts in Christian Alston, and Braden Hubbard is back in. He's got 4 fouls. Where's number 15? And ACU up 6 a couple of times in the second half. Now up just 1.
You know, right now, anything you can get from Hunter Jack is a huge plus.
Hasn't scored in 3 of his last 4 games, hasn't scored tonight. This will be a baseline jumper, and again, Hunter Jack Madden just cannot get a shot to fall. And CBU can take its first lead since the first minute and a half of the game. Daniels on 13 shots has 4 makes. Braun to the bucket and gets the finish. And CBU has taken the lead at 40-39.
You want to be quick, though. Now, if you're the Wildcats, there you go.
Alston back to Hubbard.
Penetrate. CBU's doing the same thing with the Wildcats. Penetration and pattern.
Alston loses it out of bounds. It's the first turnover of the second half, but it's a costly one. and the freshman gives it up. And Brett Tanner says, what exactly was... There we go, calm, that's okay, you're good. Alston back Thursday night for the first time in 5 games. CBU down 9 at one point, now up 1 here in West Texas. CBU leads ACU in Abilene, Texas tonight, 40-39. It was a lights-out start for Abilene Christian until the scoreboard lights went out, and Jaden West has more.
Guys, you heard Coach Tanner at halftime talk about the moment when the shot clock went out being a huge momentum stopper for his team. I'd gone over and talked at the table, and it was told that initially just one basket shot clock was not working, so they had to turn both of them off. From what I could find, there's only been one other instance in the modern era where a Division I basketball game was played with the PA announcer performing as the shot clock. It was back in 2019 in a Big 12 game between Kansas State and Texas Tech. They were able to reset the clocks at half, and they should be good to go for the rest of the game. It's bad enough the Wildcats have been on the road so much lately, and now that they're home, they've had to face a little adversity on offense. ACU is hoping that they can regain the momentum they had early in that first half. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thanks. And Leo Bettiol, who created a turnover, now goes to the free throw line to try to put his team back on top. Another look here. And Madden, even though he is not scoring much, is doing his best to contribute in other ways. And Leo, relentless. And he'll get a couple of free throws here. He's 2 of 4 at the line tonight. 73% for the season. And we're tied at 40. Brett Tanner.
You really can't change anything strategically, either bench.
All right, so Leo goes 2 for 2 on that trip. Cal Baptist themselves just 6 of 15 in the second half and 7 turnovers in the second half. But, they are in this thing. Musa, fall away. Oh, silky smooth, his first bucket of the second half. And Adam Musa. It's the Lancers back on top. Keon Williams. The Bettiol trying to take over. And again, he's going to draw a foul on Braun. That's the 4th on A.J. Braun.
I got to tell you, that is good coaching, both coming back in with Daniels, letting him go to the hole like that, and Musa playing off of Daniels, and now Leo Bettiol going back to what ACU's done pretty good all year.
I think Braun has a good case here. Saying, what did I do exactly? Go straight up. But now ACU's going to be in the bonus for the last 6:45. That was the 6th foul against CBU. 10 seconds on the timer. 5 seconds. Bettiol, Madden, they desperately need it. They can't get it, and it was Dontrez Williams who went up to get it, but a foul on Keon. Hunter Jack, that was a rare good look, and he just couldn't get it to fall, and he's now 0 of 4 from the floor and 0 for 2 from long range.
I think what you said with Leo's no lift,
yeah,
that's a killer.
Madden's going to come out. Rich Smith is back in. So both point guards in the game, low 5 there, DeGrew and Rich Smith. Bettiol's going to have a seat as well, and Cade Hornecker is in at the 5 spot for Abilene Christian. A chance to increase the lead for CBU here, up by 1, despite 17 turnovers. Minus 11 of the turnover margin. They lead it, and Coleman finishes with a flourish.
That's good execution. Actually, great execution.
ACU has missed its last 14 shots from the floor. They're 4 of 21. Keon Williams leads them with 10, he and Bettiol. Hornecker, cross court, Dontrez Williams for 3, and he ties the game, the freshman. Well, he's not a freshman anymore.
No, not
4 games into conference season. ACU needs all the help they can get from every corner. Coleman harassed by Keon Williams. And a timeout taken
Thought he
Brett
walked.
Tanner wanted to travel.
I think he did walk a little bit.
5:21 to go, and that's the third timeout for Rick Croy. 2 of them he used early. And Coleman, well, that's how you go double-double in the Southland Conference, as he did a couple of years ago. And Dontrez Williams with a big three-pointer for Abilene Christian to knot the game at 44.
Haven't seen Rich Smith much. He started out like a house fire in the second half. Did really well.
And that was the first make in 15 tries from the floor for Abilene Christian. It's not a great three-point shooting team. They don't take many. They don't make many. They made a big one there. And Coleman, who wears number 25 on the road, wears 0 at home. There was a day when everybody had a number at home and a number on the road. Coleman, the throwback here.
Yeah, Rich Smith's in the game now.
And that timeout just to save a possession for CBU. Here's Daniels. Knocks it away, gets it back. After the deflection, Musa for the lead. And that was tipped up in the air and chased down by Dontrez Williams. Oh, he stepped on the sideline. He might have been better off letting it go, but he wasn't sure who it was off. Smart to go get it, but stepped on the line. One more look here. Yeah, he slid. He was a size 13.5, not 14. It stayed in bounds. 5 minutes to play. Tied up in Abilene. Daniels, electric, step back for the lead. No! And Smith comes out of there with it. Remember, ACU is in the bonus here. Next non-shooting defensive foul will lead to free throws for Abilene Christian. Deion Williams to Dontrez, no relation. No. I think that's offensive basket interference, or is it a foul?
Well, I'm not real sure if the foul occurred before the offensive basket interference.
So they get a foul on Kendall Coleman. Horniker put his hand on the rim, but it was after the foul.
Yeah.
Well, the freshman, who has been a part of the rotation from game 1, made a 3 to tie it. Now he's got a couple of free throws to try to give his team the lead. And he does. 9 points for Dontrez Williams and 6 rebounds to lead the team. Nothing is easy in the WAC.
And I'm watching Rich Smith's guarding Musa now. They don't want Musa to get off.
How about the freshman, the third Wildcat into double digits scoring tonight?
I think you said it, there are no more freshmen.
Yeah.
You start the second semester.
AC on a 5-0 run. Javante Johnson. Daniels trying to use Braun for diversion. Musa behind the back with the dribble. Finds Johnson in the corner for 3. Big bucket for Javante Johnson.
Oh, that was huge. Huge. Good timeout.
And that is the final timeout for Rick Croy.
Well, the under 4, the only one he has left.
All right, so a big bucket from Javante Johnson. First points of the night. Put CBU on top. CBU in this back and forth affair, in front again by 1 as we send it back to JV West.
Guys, it's been a slow start to 2025 for Leonardo Bettiol of the ACU Wildcats. He had a career game on New Year's Eve, scoring 27 points on 10 made field goals. Since then, he's only had 14 points over 3 games, shooting 5 for 19, and had 2 games in that stretch where he went 0 for 5. As a leader and one of the few returners of this team, the Wildcats rely on Bettiol to put up consistent numbers each night. Tonight, he's got 10 points and looks to be right back on track as he's able to play at home in Moody Coliseum. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Mentioned that injury, foot injury for Leo Bettiol, trying to play through it. And, it's played hard tonight.
Well, they're holding the ball a little too long here.
6 lead changes here, 5 in the last couple of minutes. Bediol under the bucket. Off balance, somehow gets it to go. Rewarded for the perseverance.
Good timeout. I'm going to watch his feet. Watch his feet on this. He's got great footwork. Turned his shoulders.
Keeps the left foot as the pivot foot, and Braun's just fouled out. So Bediol with a dozen now.
You know, you made mention of the fact that California Baptist has no more timeouts.
Yeah.
Nor do they have the possession arrow.
And now they don't have the lead. At the moment, they don't. Braun fouls out. And Bediol with a chance at the and one. And so Rick Croy now will have to play without his starting 5-man.
Consider this, Grant.
Yeah.
48-47 Wildcats, right? 341. 48 points total. That's it. But we've had more action. I feel like the score should be 70-80.
Yeah. And another miss at the line for Abilene Christian. Now 12 of 19.
Who's here? Hey, 3 seconds.
And the ball in the hands of preseason first team all-conference. Dominic Daniels, the leading scorer in the conference, is going to go to the line. Try to give his team the lead with 3:24 to go. When in doubt, put the ball in the hands of number 1, and good things usually happen.
Oh, yeah. That kid's electric. He is electric.
Tough to guard. Gets a hug from Gene Grimshaw, the official. Again, he went 13 of 15 at the line on Thursday night over in Stephenville before fouling out of the game for the first time at CBU, and a rare miss, his second of the night.
Now here's a little coaching strategy right here. You have no timeouts, you don't have a possession error, but you put the ball in his hands, you put the ball in Daniel's hands. He goes to the hole, gets on the free throw line, you coach and you use the free throw timeout for your timeout.
To tie it, yes. Starting over, 48 apiece. And here is Smith. Bediol from the elbow. Spin move. No, tipped up by Keon Williams. And giving CBU a bit of its own medicine.
Yeah.
With an offensive rebound and second chance bucket.
Well, there haven't been a lot of second chance buckets for the Wildcats.
Daniels again. A lot of contact. Stuck back up by Silverstein. Each team with a stick back bucket. 50-50 is kind of what this game feels like. Bediol working on Hennig. Double team, loses the ball, finds Smith. Gets his own miss, goes up again, blocked. Loose ball, Hubbard on the ground. And over the back of his head, Musa to Hennig. What a play by Musa. Tie game with 2:20 to go. Johnson fouled by Bediol.
Wow. Great action.
What a play from Musa. And Johnson, who had the 3 to give his team the lead a minute ago, a spin move on Bediol. And Javonte Johnson, who played 3 seasons at the University of New Mexico, then a year at Colorado State. 83% in limited tries this year. Big one there to give his team the lead.
You know, right now, anything, again, I've said this all night, anything from Hunter Jack right now.
Madden back in the game. And a 2-point lead. Abilene Christian down to deuce. First game at home in the new year. First game at home in conference play. Smith to the basket, can't finish. It's Hubbard with a save. And another putback for ACU. Hubbard just when his team needed it.
Wow. A lot of heroes tonight.
2 minutes to play in Abilene. And a whistle and a foul on ACU, and that's the 7th of the half. It's a 1-and-1 chance here. And one more look here.
Yeah.
After the miss by Rich Smith. Hubbard. It was kind of a 1-on-2, but he got it. So here's Johnson to give his team the lead. If he makes the first, he'll get another. Big buckets.
Oh, Johnson's been a tremendous lift the last 4 or 5 possessions.
The 3 in the corner, and then the makes at the free throw line. 3 of 3. Been in some big games. Big time basketball.
Yeah.
Part of a Colorado State team that went to the tournament last year. And Johnson with 7 points late for CBU. Madden hasn't scored. Hubbard to Bettiol, off balance, turnover. ACU just their 8th of the game, but an inopportune time. And Daniels is going to run some clock here.
Yeah, they're going to flatten it. Look at, they'll flatten it and give him all the space to work.
CBU has been in a lot of high leverage, late game, close games. Musa back to Daniels, to the basket he goes, finishes. 4-point lead with 1:15 to go.
And he did that with the right hand.
The lefty. Smith gets some contact. He'll go to the line and he'll feel it. Not a great free throw shooter, but strong to the basket there. Another look against the big fella. Daniels at 5'10" over the 6'8" Bettiol. Daniels now with 15. He's had at least 15 in every game this year. Took him a while tonight, but he's there now.
If ACU were to lose this game, right, it's right here. It's the free throw.
12 of 19 at the line, 2 free throws for Smith. He's 1 of 2 at the stripe tonight. 1 of 3.
Yeah, you've got to have them both, but you've got to take what you can get.
Madden comes out. DeGrew is in. 1:07 to go and a 4-point deficit. 12 of 20 at the line of the Wildcats. 2 misses and out of bounds off Braden Hubbard. Don't know if the contact and the hard fall impacted the free throws or not. Hubbard comes out and Dontrez Williams is in. So Daniels gets the finish on one end and ACU misses 2 more free throws on the other.
You're going defense for offense on the substitution for ACU. Plus, California Baptist doing this without no timeouts.
Silverstein to Johnson, who's been huge tonight late. Under a minute to play. Up 4 with the ball. ACU's going to elect to play defense here and not foul, at least not on purpose. They double team. Daniels has got it. In the corner, Johnson for 3. No, rebound Bettiol. There's life for ACU. Down 4 with 35 seconds to go. Backdoor cut, DeGrew throws it away, intended for Bettiol. Now they have to foul. And Rich Smith, a bit aggressive, fouls the 89% free throw shooting Daniels. DeGrew went backdoor, but threw it away when he got up in the air. And so the turnover margin is +8 for ACU, and yet here they are on the wrong end of a 4-point deficit. And Daniels with a chance here, the shot clock off. 27.3 to go in the game. Christian Alston and Colby Tanner, son of Brett Tanner, checks in. Good 3-point shooter. This is a 1-and-1. Daniels, big one.
Yeah, that was big. He's been just enough of him tonight to ward off and keep ACU from scoring. But now ACU went through a drought, 15, 16 shots.
14 straight misses. 6-point lead with 27 seconds to play. DeGrew into the front court. Leaves it for Keon Williams, down by 6. Precious time ticking away. DeGrew, fall away. Yes, with 15 seconds to go and a timeout, Brett Tanner. 2-point shot, down 4. Now you got to foul immediately.
You got to foul immediately off a double team. You want to run a double the ball and then cut off any passing lanes that you can. You don't want to let them throw anything deep, so you've got to keep everything in front of you.
Last Saturday night in Seattle, Dontrez Williams for ACU intercepted an inbound pass and scored to tie the game before the Redhawks got a bucket with 4 seconds to go from Matthew Alexander Moncrief to win it. ACU needs something similar here. They probably can't rely on missed free throws. They probably need a takeaway. It's a 2-possession lead, barring a made 3 and a foul. The unusual 4-point play. Brett Tanner used one of his remaining timeouts, and they still have one more if they so needed.
Credit to California Baptist on surviving without any timeouts at the 4-minute plus mark.
Silverstein will inbound it. He can run the baseline, and does. A bounce into Daniels, and fouled by DeGrew. Very close to a takeaway, but Daniels to the line with his team up by 4. A couple of seconds go off the clock there.
Yeah.
Foul by DeGrew.
And again, that's what I'm talking about. Just enough for Daniels right there, just on the inbound, for him to get by and break through a double team.
So if you're relying on Dominic Daniels to miss free throws, good luck. 89% in conference play. But no! Misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Maybe luck is on ACU side. Keon Williams to the basket. Loses it. And a foul on ACU with 5.4. It opted not for the 3. And so ACU, which only has 10 turnovers, has had 3 costly ones late. They got a missed 1-and-1 from a dead-eye free throw shooter, but Keon elected to try a 2 rather than a 3. Came up empty.
Yeah, well, it got a little out of control right there. Credit again to California Baptist for not fouling him on the drive and stopping the clock.
This is the 2-shot foul, and Johnson is not going to be the leading scorer, but he's going to be the hero tonight for the Lancers. Daniels was terrific late, but it was Johnson, Javonte Johnson, with 8 points. Make it 9, all in the last few minutes of the game. 5 seconds to play. Keon Williams pulls up for 3, and that's a final. CBU comes on the road to Abilene and gets just the 3rd road win of any team in the conference this year. They defeat Abilene Christian 60-54 to even their conference mark at 2-2 and drop Abilene Christian to 0-4. Rick Croy, satisfying victory for him as we send it up to the guys on the 3rd floor.
Thanks, Grant. Your final score in Abilene, California Baptist 60, Abilene Christian 54. Late game execution is the story of this game, Zion. ACU shooting 27% in that second half, while California Baptist shooting 45%. It was the story of CBU bouncing back in that second half. What did you see in that second half, Zion?
Yeah, we know going into this game, 7th and 8th spot for both of these teams in the WAC. Obviously, we talked about Brett Tanner, his thoughts on intensity and effort. It looked like that's what CBU brought. I know Coach Croy is super happy with this team because, guys, it just looks like it. They came out and were chipping away slowly, and they did a great job coming back in this game.
ACU controlled the game all the way up until 8 minutes to go in the second half. As we take a look at these second half stats from some of our key players, Keon Williams, 12 points, shooting just under 50%. Leonardo Bedial had a bounce-back game, struggled within the last 3 conference games, but the story is of Dominique Daniels making plays when plays matter, and Adam Musa, an unlikely hero, stepping up and helping dominate the boards. California Baptist having a plus 15 advantage in the rebound margin in that game to seal the victory late. And like I said, late game execution leading to the CBU victory. ACU falls to 0-6 in 2025. They are looking for their first win of the new year and their first win in conference, while California Baptist will hopefully move up in the conference rankings as they take their second conference win tonight on the road. And anytime you get a road win, Zion, it is a plus as we take a look at some highlights.
Yeah, big time. And for ACU, they're going to look back. I bet you Coach Tanner, he's going to go back to ACU's folks, and they're going to say, man, what happened to the shot clock? They were up so big at that moment. That switch of momentum is going to be big for this team. I know they hate to see it, but man, sometimes what can you do?
Despite 11 steals for the Wildcats in that game and winning the turnover margin, ACU just couldn't get shots to fall in the basket, and sometimes that's just the way the ball bounces, and tonight the ball bounced in CBU's favor, and that's the story of the game tonight. Sam Silverstein, what a great game for him. He wasn't talked about at all, but he had just under 10 rebounds to secure that win, and that was what the difference was tonight. I'm Matthew Delacruz alongside Zion Webb. This has been your post-game report, and Grant and Ron, back to y'all.
Okay, guys, thank you. Big win for CBU, Coach.
Absolutely, on the road. They valued possessions. They didn't shoot the ball not that well. ACU shot a little worse than they did, but free throws are the name of the game.
ACU 12 of 21 and a season-long problem. Came back to bite them again tonight. ACU falls to 8-11, 0-4 in the conference. CBU 9-9 overall, 2-2 in the WAC. For Nick Barron-Stecker, our producer, and the entire team, I'm Grant Boone. Thanks for watching WAC Basketball on the ACU Sports Network.